Good day, all. It is Tuesday, January the 15th of 2019. New year. And as you've already seen by the title, I'm not going to mince words. There is changes. I am moving. I am actually, I've already got an apartment. The reason for that is I have lost the house. There is a foreclosure. There is a sell date on the house for February 1st. I can't honestly, I've been in this situation honestly a couple times before. Before I was able to get a loss mitigation, I want to say I've got 2 loss mitigations. I want to say that I've been in this situation twice before. For some reason, possibly because of the 2 previous loss mitigations, I was not approved for that this time. I even appealed the decision, and they came back with the same answer. They're like, "No, sorry, you're not approved for this." So I went about borrowing money from my 401k to be able to pay this back, and I got the money in. I was ready to go, and I talked to people on the phone, and they said, they gave me the information. Originally, I was going to do I was going to do a payment by Western Union, and then I realized because it's like you have to have cash for a Western Union payment. So I was like, and I didn't know how much cash per day. It's like, how much can I get out at the ATM? I didn't know how much can I get out per day. I'm sure there's the more I was looking it up, there's more limitations on it. So I thought, I called up Walmart, and they do money orders, and they're like, well, we can only do $1,000 per money order. So they were just going to give me multiple money orders, and I'm like, okay, great. I'm just going to get money orders, and I'm going to put them in a little package and send them off, and they're going to be done. So I emailed who I believe the term U.S. Bank uses is relationship manager, something like that. I emailed the guy twice, asking, okay, I've decided to send these money orders. Like, what information needs to be on there? What is the address that I need to send these money orders to? And I never heard back. So I decided to email the pool, because there's like a, basically you call the 1-800 number and you get whoever answers the phone, basically. So I decided to send an email to, the pool of representatives. And I finally got an email back saying, we've received, this is something about, this is to notify that we have received your email. I'm like, okay, you received my email, that's fine. But what about the question that I asked? I'm kind of like, I asked a specific question. Like I didn't email them back. And the reason I'll tell you here in a minute. So yeah, it's kind of like, I asked you a question. Like, it's good that you got my email, but it would be nice if you had answered my question so that I could have sent in these money orders. But it turned out it was too late. This was a 3-week process. And somewhere within this 3-week process, they decided to escalate my account and send it to the foreclosure attorney. And part of that, it is my fault, because even though I sent these emails, I wasn't getting a response. I could have called the 1-800 number at any time and got this information. But I was expecting, I'm kind of like, okay, somebody's got to reply to me at some point, But at any point in that 3-week window, I could have called the number. I'm like, okay, this email thing isn't working out. Let me let me call the number and get some solid information on this so I can send in these money orders. And it may not have mattered at that point, because like I said, it already went to the foreclosure attorney. So I contacted them, and I was looking for a reinstatement amount, basically, I guess is what they call it. So they're like, well, we have to contact U.S. Bank to get this reinstatement amount. So I was like, okay, do that. That's fine. I told them, I'm like, I borrowed money from my 401k. Like, I've got the money to do this, And so they were like, okay. And then a while went by and I had not heard from US Bank, and I was actually just getting ready. I was like, you know, if I don't get this, well, they asked, do you want us, we can have them email you. And that's when I told them, I'm like, well, I waited 3 weeks for an email. Apparently they're not very good at emails. So just have them send out a letter. They suck at emailing, apparently, at US Bank. So I had them send a letter. So I had not received a letter. I had not received a letter. I had not received a letter. And I was getting ready to, I'm like, if I don't get like a letter like within the next couple days, I need to call and ask about this. But once again, I'll get to that in a minute. So I finally got a letter from US Bank. US Bank had sent out this letter on January 2nd. The reinstatement amount that they put in this letter expired on the 4th. So their letter that they sent out with an expiration date on it, they gave it 2 days to reach me in that time. And it did not reach me in that time. I did not get the letter in the mail until the 7th. So 3 days after their offer had expired, it's kind of like, okay, that's some good timing on your part, US Bank. So, but yeah, I could have contacted them again, because you know, if it expires, you have to contact them again and get another reinstatement amount. And really, I mean, the longer I thought about this, the longer this process took to get completed, to get, okay, how much money do you want? How much money do you need for me to save the house? You know, like, I just had time to process everything and think about everything. And a lot of, you know, if you saw some of my videos from Advent Event, you know this house has a lot of issues. For one, the plumbing has never worked here correctly. I now currently have wet carpet that I have to walk through on a daily basis. There's like the hot water heater is starting to make a thumping noise. I don't know what that's all about. The guttering fell down. I don't know how to put it up. I mean, I guess I could. It's probably a simple thing to put a guttering back up. But it's just like, this house has a lot of issues, and it has become a money pit for me. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, you know, I can just let the bank have it. I can move into an apartment. I can have my own space that actually works for me. You know, it's just, the more I thought about it, and the more I started looking at houses for rent and like apartments and whatever. And it's just, the more that idea sunk into my head, I'm like, I can leave all of this shit behind and I don't have to deal with it. I can just move into a new space where everything works. And if something doesn't work, somebody else has to fix it. You know, somebody else has to put out the money to be able to fix it up the way that it needs to be fixed up. So, like I said, I'm actually going, you may have heard me mention Electric Springs before. It's just right around the corner from here. They take pets. I've signed the lease. It's done. I have an apartment. Like I said, there's a sell date on the house for February 1st. So I don't know exactly how it works. Like, do I have to have all of my stuff out of here by February 1st? Or is there like, because I was looking up, you know, stuff about foreclosures online, and it seems like some people didn't get evicted from their houses until like months after the sell date went through. So, I mean, it seems like the sheriff might show up at your door and give you like a notice. You know, like they can't just come in. It seems like they can't just come in and kick you out and be like, get out. You know, they have to give you a certain amount of time to, you know, get your shit and get out, as Walter would say. My plan was, I've had the apartment for about a week now. My plan was to start carrying stuff over little by little. That has not happened. I don't know if you can tell outside, Snowpocalypse 2019 has happened. So it's like there's snow everywhere. You might actually hear it hitting the house because it's been melting a little bit today and making thumping noises as it falls out of the tree. So yeah, I just finally made that decision. Am I sideways? I feel like I'm sideways. I don't know. That's sitting weird. So I just kind of made what I felt was the best decision for my life and comfort, I guess. I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show. I've likened it to the TV show Love It or List It, because I'm one of those people, like, I root for the people to love their house. Basically, if you've never seen it, they have this family that their house is, a mess. It doesn't really work for them anymore, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And so they have one person who's a designer who will, come in and redesign their house and, make it functional for them again. There's actually two different teams, because there's a Love It or List It and then there's a Love It or List It 2. But at the same time this person is renovating their house, they have a realtor who goes around and shows this family, new houses. And they're like, this, shows them houses that fit better for, because, sometimes, occasionally they'll, like, add on a room or something, but usually the people don't have enough money to, like, go crazy and, like, really renovate their houses. It's kind of like, oh, we need a bathroom on the front. There's actually somebody who wanted the bathroom taken out. I think they ended up doing that for them, because they want, like, open concept, or they want, more space by the front door or whatever, more space in the kitchen. They want a better kitchen or whatever. So, at the same time this person is renovating their old house, the realtor is showing them new houses that don't have all the problems that their old house has. So at the end of, the program, at the end of the hour, the family has to decide if they want to love their own home or list it and go with one of the new ones that, they have been shown. And it's kind of, like I said, I always root for the people, I guess, for nostalgia, or just, I guess, rooting for the underdog. Like, you want them to love their own home again, I'm usually one of those people that will say, I just sit there and I hope that they love their home the way that it is now. But there's been a few episodes where I'm like, you know what, the old home is not, because of course there's always problems, like, this pipe burst or whatever, so now that takes money out of the budget, and I can't fix this the way that I said I was going to fix this, or I can't fix it at all, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Reality show, there's got to be drama. So there's been a few situations where I'm like, your old house doesn't work for you anymore. You need to list. This is definitely a list it situation, and that's kind of where I became with this. I know I'm not listing it personally. I'm basically letting the bank have it back, but it's kind of like, I can have a toilet that flushes again. I don't know how long it's been since I've had a toilet that can flush. I've been peeing in the bathtub because the sink back there, if I turn it on, it will it won't turn off. I've had to twist and pull the thing down, this whatever little knob. Hey, there's a good word for it. I've had to twist and pull down, twist and pull down, twist and pull down, just to get it to a point where it's barely dripping, because I've had it where it is like spraying water. I cannot get it to stop other than twisting, pulling, twisting, pulling, twisting, pulling. So I've just had to live with it dripping back there. I put a bowl in the sink, and then every once in a while I'll dump the bowl out in the bathtub. The bathtub is like the only working drain in the bathroom, and I'm pretty sure the only reason that drain drains is because there's a hole in the pipe somewhere, and the water is actually going up underneath the house. I've never actually checked on that, but I'm pretty sure that's probably what's happening in that situation. So I can't use my toilet, I can't use my sink in the back. I don't know what the hell's going on with the sink in the kitchen, but it's stopped up, and now I have to I have to take buckets of water out and dump them out just to be able to wash my dishes and whatnot. it is, the home is not, now if everything was working correctly, I would certainly fight a little bit harder to keep the home. But as it is now, and with as many problems as it has, and I don't have the money to fix said problems, I'm just done. I really am. I'm moving on to, like I said, I'll have a toilet that'll flush again. I mean, I'll have, I'll try not to fill up the guest bedroom, because that was one of the things. Mom's never been able to come visit. I usually don't, people don't usually want to come visit me. Like, my friends are mostly here in town. Like, my friend Robert might come for the day or something when he happens to be in town talking to, like, the local youth group at church or something. But, so I'm going to try not to fill up the guest room. But it's just like, it's so much better situation for me, because not only does the place work, but the money that I borrowed from my 401k, I can buy new furniture, because some of this is old. I mean, I feel kind of bad not taking the sofa, to be honest, because that's where Minxie hides up underneath the, when there's a when there's a thunderstorm. I mean, maybe I'll just cut a hole in the new couch or whatever, so she still has a place to go up underneath and hide. I'm taking some of the money that's left over from that. I'm paying off some loans that I've got, so that I have less money going out the door every month for loans, that I've acquired. I've already paid off all my payday loans. I don't have payday loans anymore. I just have like a couple of personal loans that I got, for this, that, or the other. And so I'm going to go ahead and pay those off and be done with those. So financially, I'll be set better. I'll never have to mow my lawn again, which is just great. I won't have, the city stopping by saying your yard is too tall. And I mean, really, a lot of times it would be, because it's just kind of like, I get home from an 8-hour shift. I get home from work, the last thing I want to do is more work. Like, we've discussed how my house has turned out, But it's just, there's just so many positives. I'll be a little bit closer to work. So on the days where I walk to work, I can sleep in a little bit because my walk isn't as far to get to work. Like, there are just so many positive things that are coming out of moving, getting the fuck out. So that's what, it sounds like a weird thing to be happy about, but I'm happy about it. Like, I called Mom the other night and I let her know about it, because she happened to send me a text right before I left for work. So I knew she was awake. And with my friend Mary Lee, she goes to work early enough. I had like 20 minutes before I had to clock in anyway. So it's kind of like, well, I know Mom's awake and I need to let her know what's going on, because she had no idea. I mean, I never mentioned anything about having money problems or the loss mitigation or the foreclosure or anything. So it was, it was a lot to, well, I guess I'm dropping it on y'all now too. But I told her, I was just like, so I figured out a clever way, or, I figured out a way to fix all the problems in my house. I'm moving. And she had like that kind of like momentary, like, are you kidding? Or are you being serious? I can't remember exactly which way it was worded, but one of those two things came out of her mouth. She's like, are you kidding? I was like, nope. And, I explained to her exactly how I'm explaining it to y'all, It's just, it's just so much of a positive change that I can't be mad about it. I can't be angry about it. Like, so many things are working in my favor with this move, other than the place is going to be smaller. But it gives me a chance, I guess, to, like, leave behind some stuff that, a lot of my stuff is already boxed up, because I never unpacked from when I moved in here in the first place, But, so yeah, I explained to Mom about all this, and she's like, well, it sounds like you're happy. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm happy. And she was like, well, congratulations on the loss of your house, I guess. It was like, and I was like, thank you. Because, I mean, it is. Unfortunately, for those who follow me for Halloween decorations, I don't really know what that means for decorating for Halloween. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to do that sort of thing. He said not to put things in the common areas, but I would assume that was like the sidewalks and stuff. So I don't know, because my apartment it sits like right here. It has like a corner apartment, so there's like grass, kind of grassy area in front of it. So I don't know if maybe I can set out a few things. I guess I should have asked him. I mean, maybe I can. So I don't know what that means for my Halloween decorations or my Halloween decorating. But I actually planned on, going over there because I've got a checklist that I've got to do. The usual move-in checklist of, did you find any holes in the wall? Basically things I don't want to get blamed for, as as the landlord said it. And I haven't had a chance to get over it because, snow, like I said, I was going to go over there this weekend at some point, maybe take over a few things. I'm going to do a little apartment tour for y'all so that you can see it. It's a cute little thing, like in the front room area. I'm not sure if I'm going to put my front room in here or by the kitchen, but there's like a brick wall, and there's kind of like this little archway thing over the doorway, which is kind of cool. And it backs up like right into the trees. So, there's probably going to be, wildlife everywhere. There's a little wildlife over here. I might have a deer, like, right out my back door. Because it's like, right backed up into the trees. It's not the apartment that I had before. But, I don't know. I'm going to be kind of hidden in the back, so that's almost okay with me. So, there are some negatives to it, but there's just so much to be happy about, or just to be okay with, you know what I mean? Like there's just so many like problems that are like weights off my shoulder now that I don't have to deal with, and it's kind of like, let somebody come in here and fix this place up, and fix all of its problems, because it's been a good home. I've enjoyed it. I've liked it. I'm going to miss having my back porch to go sit out, during the rainstorms and whatnot. But it's like, get somebody in here who can fix all the issues and actually, turn it into a home for someone, turn it into a house, like a working house for someone. Because I fucked it up. I fucked it up bad. I really did. So, it deserves better than me. So it can have that, and I'm moving on to greener pastures. So I'm not sure what Minxie thinks about it, but yeah. So that is the, I mentioned in the Facebook fan group that, if I can ever stop being lazy, I have an important video to make. A change is coming. So I'm still going to be lazy. I'm just going to be lazy in a new location. So you're still going to be waiting for fucking Loot Crate videos from me. It's gonna be the same process, just a different backdrop, and that's kind of what I thought about, like the Halloween decorations, because like I've done the same thing here, year in, year out, kind of. I've tried to switch it up a little or buy new stuff or whatever, but this gives me maybe a different canvas to work with to put different stuff up. So we'll see how that goes, but yeah. So I like I said, I don't know exactly when I will be moving in over there. So I don't know if I have to like definitely be out of here by February 1st, because it's getting sold on the courthouse steps, and it's SEP, somebody else's problem, as they say. No longer my circus, no longer my monkeys, So I'm going to try to be out of here by February 1st, I guess. That this snow is kind of impeding my process that I was intending. But let's be honest, I probably would have been lazy this weekend. I'm like, I can just carry some stuff next week. And we're supposed to get more snow this coming weekend, so it's kind of like, we'll see if I can get anything out of here. But yeah, that's the big thing. I don't know what the new backdrop is going to look like. I'm not sure exactly, You know, like I said, I'm not actually even sure where I'm going to put my front room. If I'm going to put it like in the front area or if I'm going to put it in the back area by the kitchen. But yeah, like I can buy new furniture to put in there, you know. Sorry, you're not going to be too mad at me if I take away your couch, are you? If I leave it here for somebody else. She's more interested in the birds. She doesn't care. So I need to get some of those shepherd hooks thingies to stick in the back and the ground in the back, so that I can hang my my bird feeders, so I can continue. Because I mean, like I said, it's right in the trees over there, so there'll be tons of birds all the time. So yes, you will still be driven crazy by the birds. She's watching me speak to her. You will be driven crazy by the birds, like you are here at the back door. They'll still be your friend. You can still talk to them. It'll probably just be different birds. I can't guarantee it'll be the same ones. That was really dark. Because I went out of the light. But anyway, I think that's the whole situation. Basically, I just had to inform you that I'm getting the fuck out. So your backdrop will look different. I don't know if it'll be a brick wall or what. Because I was trying to figure out exactly how to... I don't know, because I'll be living with other people, you know, once again. And that's what I was thinking. I lived in apartments before, and I didn't hate it. I mean, I didn't really... I had one lady who was giving me problems. See, now she's going off at the birds. She's watching the birds. But I had one lady that gave me multiple problems, was complaining about my cat, and, I mean, other than that, I didn't really hate living in an apartment. So, like I said, there was just that one lady, and everything else, I mean, wasn't really that bad. I mean, I tried to, you know, not be loud, because I was, you know, I was worried about bugging other people. So, you know, other than that, I'll be tied to people again. But I guess it didn't suck as much as I thought it did. It was just that one lady. And I mean, even I can't imagine she still lives there. But even if she does, like I said, I didn't get my old apartment back anyway. So she'll still, I assume, be living in the same corner that she was living in before. And she is also SEP, somebody else's problem, because I am in a completely different complex. So there's 4 different complexes with the place. And a house. There's like a complex back here. There's a huge hill you have to go down. And then there's a complex here, which is the one that I'm in. The complex here, the complex over here, which is the one I used to be in. And then up the hill, there's like single apartments, like 1-bedroom apartments. And up the hill, there's also the house that they've converted into like 3 or 4 different apartments. I almost looked into that one. But a friend who lived there, he said it's not really. I mean, they need to fix it up, because there's like no insulation in the place. He said, like, it gets, you know, hot in the summer and cold in the winter, and you know. So I mean, they've been doing a lot of work to the place. They're always constantly working on the place, from what I've seen. So I mean, that's what people have, because I have some friends who do still live over there, and so they were. You know, they've told me that, you know, they've been fixing up the place, and I can tell it's different now. Like I used to have like the back the balcony or whatever on my old place, and it used to just kind of be like this wooden thing. But now they've kind of got like their own little privacy kind of thing, because like instead of just having like a railing, they actually have like wood slats or whatever. I'm sure I'll show it to you when I get a chance to go over there and do a little tour. I actually did show it off one time. I can't remember what video that was in, though. I was like, oh, that's my apartment. That's my old apartment over there in the corner. But I want to say it was one of the Advent calendar videos at one point. But I don't know. Whatever. So that's all the pertinent information. I didn't get a chance to go over there today. I haven't had a chance to go over there for like a week. So it's just sitting over there, like sitting over there empty until I have a chance to, because, you know, I wanted to take a tour, do it like a, you know, a apartment tour, but without anything in it. I think I want to buy some bookshelves. I think that's one of the things that I want to do first, is buy bookshelves, because that's one of the problems I had when I got here, was I didn't have any place. Like, I have all of these different, you know, collections, and like my pop figures and all these raccoon, figurines and stuff. Like, I don't have any way to display them. So if I can get some bookshelves and put some bookshelves together and set the bookshelves up before I move anything else in, like, I can just automatically, like, have a place to put these so that, they're not sitting around in boxes, and there's not boxes sitting everywhere because I have too much shit, too much collections, and too much, all that kind of stuff. And I might go through some of my old papers and maybe throw some of them away. I don't know. I've kept a lot of dumb shit over the years. I think one of the things that I have back there somewhere, it's the label from, and it's a cool thing. This is not one of the things I'm going to throw away. Okay, so don't think I'm about to tell you something I'm going to throw away. It's a label from a SpaghettiOs can, and I can't remember what characters are on it, but the inside of it is like holographic foil. I mean, it's pretty cool. If I can find it, I will show that to you. Because it's super cool. Like I said, that's not something I'm throwing away. But there's other things back there that possibly I could, So, we'll see. But yeah, eventually, the backdrop will be different. Hopefully, I can keep, because that's kind of iconic. Because I've lived in this house. Since I've been doing videos, I've lived in this house. So, like, this is kind of always the view, sort of, unless I'm walking around with the camera. So that guy, the Red Lobster balloon has always been in the background. So hopefully I can find a place to put it, I mean, I'm going to find a place to put it, but whether or not it will be in the background anymore, I can't say. So, yes, foreclosure, I'm losing my house, but I'm happy about it. So, I'm moving on to greener pastures. I mean, the pasture's going to be smaller, so it's not going to be, I'm going to have to, work on getting rid of some shit, probably. But now I have a dumpster. I can just go throw all my shit that I don't want in a dumpster. But I mean, if I can, I'm going to donate it somewhere, like if I want to get rid of some old toys. Like, I have bags of magazines somewhere around here to donate to the Salvation Army somewhere. Who knows? But anyway, so that was your little recap, and I just wanted to inform you all that that's going to happen, and here I've blabbed on, even though I did get to the point fairly quickly. I got to the point within like a minute, maybe even 30 seconds, and I've managed to talk the rest of the time, because usually I'll just sit there and blah, 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 blah about nothing. Now I'm doing my blah, blah, blahing about nothing at the end of the video, instead of the first of the video, so I did get to my point. I believe that's everything that I meant to tell you all about the situation. So if anything wasn't clear, or if you have questions, feel free to ask me. I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm laying it all out here in a YouTube video, so I don't care. Whatever. It's working out in my favor though, so. Because it's like I had the money to pay them once a month. I did not have the money to pay them for 3 months, and then however long it went on. It was like, what was the reinstatement amount? I know it was over $5,000 by the time all was said and done, but I can't recall. It doesn't matter anyway, because that expired 3 days before I got the fucking letter. So who knows what the new reinstatement amount would have been, but another month's worth of rent would have been on there. So it would have been it would have been closer to $6,000 or over $6,000 by the time it was done, which is why I borrowed money from my 401k to be able to pay it, and then it just didn't quite work out that way. But that's cool. We're cool. Copacetic. I think that's the word that I meant to use there. But whatever. See, blabbing. I'm doing the blabbing thing. But anyway, so eventually, within a month, maybe ish, I will do the apartment tour though. I'm gonna maybe go over there tomorrow. Maybe. Kind of depends. I guess it's supposed to rain tomorrow. But if I can get over there safely, because the sidewalks are covered in snow right now, but if it can get less snow on them, I guess I can go up and around, because all I have to do is go up the road, go over here to the highway and walk up just a little bit. Like, seriously, Electric Springs is like right on the other side of this little lake thingy here, you know, pretty much. But considering it's been snowing and the shoulder of the road is probably covered in snow, and I'm walking along a busy highway where cars live, you know, like I can't really do that. So I'm gonna maybe attempt to go over there tomorrow if the safety of it works in my favor, and I don't fall asleep and get lazy and decide not to. So I might do an apartment tour tomorrow. We'll see, but that is eventually coming. Because like I said, I want to do the tour before I put anything in there. And then I need to buy bookshelves and get started on that. But anyway, I've blabbed on long enough. Y'all know what's going on. And I will see you for what I see you, possibly in a new location.